Hi everybody, Jill here. Welcome to my channel. So, as you saw in the title, today I'm going to create a look that normally I don't. I don't know why. I think I'm more of I prefer more warmer looks in general, or at least the neutral looks, you know. And we are gonna make a neutral look per se, but I want to show you, if you like, I don't know if you can see. So today I'm wearing a little bit of this really pretty sort of very muted plum. I would call it more of like a gray plum color shirt under here. So I'm going to use that really as my inspiration. I'm going to dip into two palettes, and I chose these two because the colors speak to me and my vision, but also these are really inexpensive. I got them, one from Ulta and one from Amazon. This is the one I got from Ulta. This is a ColourPop palette, and I think you can tell why I chose this palette. Absolutely beautiful, but we're not going to create the whole look out of here because I think that would be, for me, just a little much, because I want to show you how you can incorporate purples, lavenders, plums, you know, into your eye look and just kind of pull your whole day together without having a purple, lavender, full-on plum eye look. And I don't know, maybe you would love that, but for me, I would like to accent it with that, and it will still pull everything together. So the other palette we're working out of today is an Amazon find. It's called Supreme Seductress, and this is what this looks like. Again, you're going to find all the links to everything that we used and talked about today down below in the description area. I don't know if I've talked about this foundation. I wear it a lot and it is really nice. This foundation is wonderful for mature skin. It's the Catrice Tinted Serum. And I know that sounds like it might not have a lot of coverage, but you can build it, and it gives me a wonderful kind of look that I really like. So no, it isn't going to give you a heavy coverage, but it does give enough, I think, to mute out the mottledness in my pigmentation, to mute out some of this redness that I have. And the finish is amazing. It comes with, you know, it has the dropper. And I am just going to put it right here on my sponge. And yes, I have a little, is that finally going away? Yeah. I have a little pimple right there. It's so nice. So lovely for it to kind of join the party today. I've been using this a lot for my concealer. I love the finish. It gives you this really nice, sort of non-matte, little bit glowy, but not over the top finish. And I love that in a concealer. I think it's very brightening. I think I could have got a little darker. Maybe I will order a little bit darker and see if I get lucky. Again, I got this off Amazon. I've heard of the brand before, and it is really nice. It does not dry out my eye tissue at all. Putting your concealer over the top of a really light, beautiful oil blend that is hopefully made for around the eye area, because that takes the guesswork out of it for you. It's like, okay, this was formulated for the eye area, so I know these oils are going to be lovely for that. You don't want oils that are real heavy for the eye area. And I'm going to put one of my favorites down below as well, with a link if I can find it, because I purchased this a while back at Sephora, I think, but I do love it. And it is a game changer. It's a game changer. It really helps your concealer just look really nice and fresh through the day. So I'll remember to put that in there. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. So we are going to begin this look with the eyes. I never use this one. This is just too much of a bright true white. And I don't like using a true white anywhere in my eye looks. I just don't like it. So I have never used this other than swatch it and go, whoo, yeah. But the rest of these colors are really nice. I'm gonna start this look, I think, with this really pretty sort of peachy, really light peachy color here. You know how I do love those. I'm gonna push this back a little bit, give me a little more room here. Okay. I don't know why I put this on my middle finger. That's my swatch finger, but it's definitely not the one I usually use for this. But yes, this is going to give you a beautiful sort of wet look. It's not grainy, but it is going to give you a really pretty sort of, kind of illuminescence. Is that a word? Illuminescence? Because if it isn't, it should be, because that's what you get with something like this. So this is just a really kind of lovely in between. It's not real peachy and it's not real pink. And it is the perfect one to use with the look that we're going to be doing today. And you don't have to worry about really putting it here because we're going to be putting something else there. But if you get it there, it's okay. You just want to really concentrate on the majority of the mobile lid into the corner and not worry really about here or anywhere up here. I have to be careful using grays in my eye looks. And I know that seems like it would be the logical place for us to go next, is into some sort of grayish, matte kind of color to do up here. But I can't do that. It tends to make me look very tired. It really exasperates the darkness that I get around my eyes. And I also have to be careful with purples because that could make my eyes look really red. So I'm going to show you how I strategically kind of go around that problem. And I feel like those are really common problems as we get older. I want to show you a couple things here around that same, thinking about what I just said. So they do have this color here in this palette that we could use as that transitional color. But I'm going to opt to use this one out of this palette. It's a little warmer, and I'm going to swatch these for you so you can see the difference in these. So here we have the one out of the ColourPop. Now I'm going to swatch the one that I want to use as our transition color. These are both matte colors. So now, I'm not saying that we would use this much pigment from these colors, but I'm going to see if I can bring a little maybe up here. But I think you can see that if we used this as our transition color, that would really exasperate, those dark areas. It would really cause the light to just sort of fall in there even more. And it would also, I have no warmth backing up this look, and I have to have some warmth. I think that gives us some life. And I don't really think it matters, quite honestly, what you're going for, like what the color story is. If you're going more for a cool look, all in all, I still think a little bit of warmth needs to be behind there, especially as we get a little older. And so that's why I'm going to choose to go this route when it comes to just sort of doing this transition color. It's kind of that background color that, yes, we might cover up here and there, but it's still back there. And it's a necessary step, I think, to create a really professional sort of end look. All right, I want a dome brush that is, pretty floofy. I want to cover a lot of ground here. It's very soft, and I think that's really important, especially working around the delicate eye area. This is a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy, the collab, there we go, A503. So I'm going to dip into this, kind of load it up. I will say, because we're going into this palette now, these are very pigmented. They're a little not chalky, they're a little powdery. So really knock it off really well. And now I'm gonna lay this in, really focusing here in the center. I don't want a lot of this pigment dipping down in this area. These days, for me anyway, it just tends to draw my eye down. And there's enough of down going on these days in my aging journey that I want to eliminate that if I have any control over it whatsoever, even if it's in just my eye look. So we're going to concentrate that just kind of right in here. And then we are going to, kind of turn our head. That way we can see how far we're kind of taking this color, because I don't want to bring it on down in here. And then if you still have some pigment, you can wipe it off down here for blending, or you can grab this here, 102. This is, or is it 201? It's 201. 201, yeah. Or you can grab this hairbrush. This is a BK Beauty 201. I have just labeled this my cheater blending brush. I like to use it for that, and I just simply wipe it off in between each time I use it, and it just works really well for that. So I'm going to catch this eye up now. And again, I'm just going to kind of really, I still have a light touch. It's not like I'm going crazy, and if you have a little too much, wipe it off. You have control over how much you want to use, how much, and I really recommend you go in lighter than heavier that first time. All right, I'm going to stick with that for now. If I want to go back later and add a little bit more, give me, a little bit more definition right in that area, we can do that later. But let's mosey on. All right, I'm gonna go back into this. This color is gorgeous. It's practically the same color, it's just a little deeper as my top between these two. But I'm going to do this one for now. So this is a BK Beauty, this is 203. And I'm going to go ahead and load up that color I had just showed you. I'm going to tap it off really well. And I am going to hope for some good payoff. We might have to build it, which is perfectly fine. And I'm going to really get this right to that lash line. I am getting a little fallout down here, but that's okay. And I'm going to push it up a little, but I'm only going to really take it to my natural sort of crease right in here. So I'm going to load that up again and press it and pack it. I'm going to get the other eye caught up. I'm not taking it in quite halfway, a little more than a third. This is just a really pretty thing to do. All right, I'm going to take my blending brush here. I really want to soften that line and this top line. Okay, next I'm going to go one over. So I'm going to take this one here. And I am going to line underneath my lower lash line. I don't want a skinny little line under there. I want it to be sort of soft. So I'm going to go in with this one. So I'm going to go in with BK Beauty 204. This is a must-have. a must-have. If I could come up with, my own little starter kit, this would be in it. It is so nice for either above or below. Gives you so much great control. Tapping it off real good. And I am gonna just kind of tap this in. If you're like me and you have a lot of crepiness down here, it doesn't mean that you have to avoid this step altogether. It's just you have to tweak the application. I think putting some color down below does sort of open the eye up. No matter your age, it's just about making it easier for you to get it where you want it. So I like really kind of starting with tapping it in. And I do have. And then I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to load it a little bit. Knock it off, and I take it vertical, and I'm just simply gonna take it and vertically join it to the top here. Now if you have downturned eyes, don't worry about joining it at all. You don't really even need any color there. So this is only if you do not have downturned eyes. Something I forgot to do, which is crucial for me, is I'm actually going to use some, especially when I use purples. I know this sounds silly, but it really helps. Lumify. Lumify makes the whites of your eyes white. We tend to lose that as we age as well. So this gives you a more youthful looking eye, and I really try to remember to use it when I work with plums, purples, reds, anything like that. So I'm going to go back in, since I definitely got things a little damp down here. Oops. I'm going to curl my lashes now. I highly recommend this step. And I know this is really repetitive if you tend to watch these a lot. But I feel like if I don't say the really important stuff in all of my videos, if somebody's watching it for the first time, then they've missed it. So I think, I never used to curl my lashes, never. But as we age, the eye tissue slowly starts going down and pushes our lashes down. So if you find that has happened, that is why. It's a very microscopic thing at first, the eye tissue is just slowly dropping over the lash line, and it pushes our lashes down. So these days, curling my lashes up helps to open my eyes and look a little more refreshed, and it's a must these days. Okay, I am going to go into my eye pencils now. And I just have them in a drawer. I have to share this with you. I got this from Amazon, and I love it. I actually have two of them. You buy them, individually, but I have two of them sitting over here. And for my purposes, it works out so nice. So I have all of my eye pencils in one drawer. I can pull it, set it down here in front of me, not fish for it like I used to. And it's really nice. So like, for instance, I have all of my brow products in one drawer. So I just pull it, I put it in here, easy to pick up, and boom, back in there. I have my mascaras in here. And they have been so nice, and I'll try to remember to put the link to them down below. I'm not sure I have them in my Amazon shop quite yet. I should try to remember to do that as well. But in the meantime, I will put the link down below if it's something that you're like, yes, I could use that too, Jill. So I'm going to reach for this. This is a L'Oreal Infallible eye pencil. This side is sort of a foam blender if you really just want to blend that out. But I'm going to be using this in my waterline down below. And I don't take this all the way to the corner. It's gonna meander there anyway. It's, so everything tends to goop up in the corner if you really take it all there right away. And I guarantee you, eventually they go there anyway. It's just lesser of an issue. Yeah, so. And you know what? I think I've decided that I'm gonna tightline with this too. So let's do that. Again, I am not going to take it all the way to that inner corner, but I am going to scrub it up into my lash line. It's a little trick that kind of gives you a more, I don't know, makes it look like you have more lashes. Got my mascaras here. I have been really enjoying this. This is the Catrice mascara, so I'm definitely going to use it. We'll keep with the theme here. It's really nice. Really nice mascara. It gives a very soft look, but it is buildable, just not to the extent of, say, this Benefit one, which is the Fan Fest. This gives you a wonderful full look. If you're like me, you like to volumize as well as lengthen. However, it is really hard to remove, and I have a multitude of different eye makeup removers that, a couple of them are made for waterproof mascaras. This is not a waterproof mascara, but it is really hard to get off, so I tend not to reach for it. It's like I don't want to take out any of my beloved eyelashes that I have just trying to get off my mascara. But it is nice if you have an event or something like that to go to. Okay, I already know that I'm going to add a little bit more of that warm, sort of neutral warm color up there. I can tell that's going to happen. However, first I want to do my brows. Lately, I have been struggling with them, even my good brows. So I don't know what's happening to I don't know. I just lost my groove, I guess. So I'm still using the $1 Billion brow powder in the color taupe. This is a fairly new purchase for me. This is an Anastasia brow brush. We've got the spoolie on one end, and then we have a really nicely angled brush here. I'm not used to working with ones this skinny. I like a little bit more surface, probably because I literally have bald spots and I have to kind of paint them in with my powders. Been learning how to use this, and I'm growing to like it more and more. I always start with my vertical line that's going to go here all the way to the arch. That's where I begin. And then I'm just going to lightly kind of bring that up a bit. I find too with this brush I have to load more often. And then I'm going to do little hair-like strokes. Then I'm going to create really a higher arch than I normally have, or that I actually have. So I'm gonna bring it up there, and then I'm gonna take little side swipes, because that is the direction that those little hairs do grow. We don't want to just go like this and then just go whoosh and just draw a line straight down. That is not a good look in my opinion. But again, these are just things that I do. I never want to say you should never do this, because my gosh, I break so many rules. I really do. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, but I like doing it this way. And that is totally fine. Okay, so now I'm going to soften that really lightly. I don't want to take it all away, but I am, oh man, I am going to soften it. I really want to soften this bottom line down in here. So I'm just going to take the tip of the spoolie and soften that. All right. I'll just do one brow here, I guess. And then I'm going to go in with, I've been using this since the dawn of time. This is Benefit's Gimme Brow Tinted Brow Gel. And the color that I'm using currently is 4.5. I like the brow gel to be a little darker than the brow powder. I think it just gives a little bit more dimension and makes it look less I don't know what the word is, less made up, less, and a little bit more, I don't know. These days, my brows definitely are made up. You know, you know that I've been doing stuff with my brows when I'm done, but that's just the way it goes. But I do like the dimension that the tinted brow gel gives my look. It's been a game changer. Then I'm going to go in with my absolute favorite Patrick Ta lamination gel. This here applicator is a large part why this is so fantastic. Look at that. I mean, the precision, but the formula itself is precision, and it's not called lamination gel for no reason. It does lock things in. So you have to like that. You have to like the finish it gives you, and it's not for everyone, but I love it. This is my second or third bottle, I think. And it lasts a while, don't get me wrong. I've just been using it for quite some time. So what a difference a brow makes. Brows are so important. So keep practicing your brow game. You know, you may need to add something to give you that little extra something to sort of, you know, bring up your brow game, but definitely practice on your brows, because when you get it right, you know, mine vary day to day. There's sometimes when a bit better. There's sometimes, I swear, it would have been better if I just would have just left them alone. But, you know, it's a constant curve for me when it comes to, you know, how well it's going to all work out in the end. All right, before we move on to blush, getting some color into this look, I'm gonna do some contouring. This is my favorite contour. I'm fair. It's really hard for me to find a contour color that works for me. Your contour should always be matte, because the object behind contouring is sort of allowing the light to disappear in there, causing either like a hollow. You could use your contour up here as well. I like doing it because I have a tall forehead, but you can use your contour as a bit of a bronzing effect as well. But if you like your bronzer to shimmer a little, there are those options in the bronzers. But this needs to be matte if you're using this as truly a contour. This is the Makeup Forever. I love this color. I want to say it's something peanut. Again, I will link it down below if you're fair and have a hard time. I need something that isn't really orange, but I can't have something that's super ashy, because then that just makes my skin kind of look dirty. But I need something in the middle. And I feel like this does a pretty dang good job. It's at least the best match that I have found. So I am gonna do some contouring. I'm just kind of pinching the brush that I'm using rather than digging out something else. I'm going to soften this with the big, what I like to call a big kabuki brush. And I absolutely love this. It is truly like a big kabuki brush. I think it's called the Buffer, which is an appropriate name as well. This is 105. And I just like at this point to take it over everything that I just did and just soften it out. And if you want to go back in and do a little more and then soften that, that's how I would recommend, you know, building even your contour. By the way, this brush here, I forgot to tell you the number of this. This is 106. And I love using it. It's not too big. And again, you can definitely get away with kind of doing this if you need a little bit more precision. And it is quite lovely. I'm a BK Beauty geek. Man, I really love their brushes. They are my favorite. I have used all kinds of different ones, and I've really kind of weeded out. Almost my entire collection has become BK Beauty. I still have some of my favorite, a couple of my favorite Morphe brushes, as well as IT Cosmetics, but really pretty all the other ones just sort of went away. I am going to take this color that we used earlier, and I am gonna just deepen that a little bit more. Again, I'm gonna go in with A503 BK Beauty. I'm gonna load it up and really tap it, really knock it off real well. I'm even gonna tap it a little tiny bit on my towel. And I'm just, you know, gonna kind of press that pigment in so I can be really precise where I want it to go. And I'm going to take, where'd it go? I'm going to take the blending brush, soften that. Yes, I like that so much better. We are done. We are done with this eye look. I think it's really pretty. So for the blush today, I'm actually going to use a Catrice cream blush. Let me see what color this is. Rock and Rose 030 Catrice Cheek Flirt Face Stick. My gripe with this are the lids. Look at this one's completely broken. They don't fit well. They just don't fit well. And they slide over the top, but you know, I obviously must have pushed it too far down. I don't know. The other one is doing this too, and so I just don't like the packaging at all. Get into my bucket of sponges. Once again, I'm going to grab one of these that has that sort of flat side right here, and I'm going to load this right on to I'm going to tap it right onto this here sponge. That is a lot. That is a lot. So I'm going to take, the paper towel I think we got cut off, and I'm just going to press it a few times on the paper towel. If I need more, I'd rather do it that route. So I am going to I love cream blushes, first of all. They are my, I'd much rather category. I'd much rather use a cream blush, because if it's a nice cream blush, it gives you this sort of under the skin to the top, this really natural flush of color that seems to come from underneath the skin rather than it being, you know, like on top of the skin. That's why I love really nice cream blushes. So I have used this before. I've used this a few times actually, and it is lovely. So again, okay. So I'm going to start with the apple of the cheek. And I'm going to tap lightly at first because I don't want to go crazy. And then I just bring it back right on top of my cheekbone. I'm not going to go up here. I'm not going to go down here. I'm not going to go up here. Right straight back on my cheekbone. Now I may blend it out, you know, a little higher and lower just to kind of blend it. So I'm going to go back in again. I'm going to tap, tap, tap. And we'll tap, tap, tap over here. And And I'm going to start, I like that it's pointy because that's right where I like to place my blushes. Just this really natural flush area where we naturally do get a flush of color if you get overheated or a sunburn, whatever. And I'm going to bring it a little over the nose, a little here. I always like to incorporate my blush colors right in here. I just think it brings the whole thing together. And this is exactly what I was hoping for. Absolutely lovely. Yes. Really pretty. I always like to look at my 5x mirror just to make sure that, you know, I don't have contacts in, I don't have my glasses on. So I just want to make sure that everything's kosher, everything's good. I'm going to take you outside when we're done so you can see what this look looks like in natural light. Okay. Before I move on to the lips, I want to show you something that I absolutely love. It's that last little something that just sort of brings this all to life. I have been loving this. This is the Jane Iredale Palm Mist. It's a hydration mist. It is a wonderful... I love using it as sort of that setting mist, but it does so much more than that. It really does give your skin a little boost of hydration, but watch what it does. Don't go too crazy with it. I tend to do that. First of all, it smells lovely. It is really lovely, but you can always just let it dry down on its own. I'm going to turn this way, and anything that got a little carried away, like you got actual little droplets, just don't move it around. Just kind of pat them in, real careful like. You see what that did? Oh, I'm linking this for you for sure. I love this. All right, now we are going to do the lips. So Laura Geller makes these really lovely marbled, Italian marble lipsticks. I ended up getting almost all of them because they were on sale that day, and they're really nice. They're not completely saturated with pigment. They give you a really soft look. I really like them. So today I chose this one, and I'll let you know which one that is. So I'm going to use this here lip liner. This is Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat. They're my absolute favorite. I love that they're a little dry. They really do their job nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and use Icon Baby for this. And then I'm going to soften that. And then I'm going to go in with the Italian Marble lipstick by Laura Geller. This is in Honey Bun. Do you see how they're marbled? They kind of this blend of a couple different colors. Each of them a little different. Oh, wow. I haven't used this one yet. Really pretty. But you know me, I got to have a little bit of shine above and beyond, a little lip topper, if you will. So I'm going to pull my glosses. These aren't all of my glosses, but these are like my favorite ones currently. This is one of my favorites. This is Anastasia's Venus lip gloss. It has, and boy, it's getting low. I hardly ever finish my lip glosses out, but this one is definitely going to be one of those I will have to replace. Just that little extra sparkle. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and figure out what kind of helper hair I'm going to be wearing today. And it is currently not raining. It's not the brightest of days, but I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you what this looks like out in the big bad natural light of the world. So I'll see you guys in a snap. So this is outside in a very gray Pacific Northwest day. See if I can get this closer. I just wanted you to see, the pretty plum undershirt, which I have to tell you about these because these are really nice. Okay, we're gonna end this one with my dog barking. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got inspired to bring out your purples, plums, and lavenders and have an idea of a look that would go really lovely with them. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.